There's a feeling many teenagers carry quietly. They don't always talk about it. They don't always know how to describe it. Sometimes they don't even know what question to ask. They just notice something. Everyone else seems to be changing. Bodies look different. Voices sound different. Confidence looks different. But when they look at themselves, it feels like nothing is happening. No major changes. No clear signs. No explanation. So a thought begins to form. Why am I not changing like everyone else? Why does my body feel behind? Did something go wrong? If you've ever had those thoughts, you're not alone. And more importantly, those thoughts don't mean anything is wrong with you. This video exists because delayed puberty is real, common, misunderstood, and rarely explained in a way that actually helps teenagers feel okay. So let's talk about it slowly, clearly, and honestly. Part 1. What puberty really is and what IT isn't. Puberty is not a single moment. It's not one change. It's not 1 year. And it's not something that happens the same way for everyone. Puberty is a long biological process where the body gradually prepares for adulthood. It involves hormones being released from the brain, physical growth and development, emotional and psychological changes, shifts in energy, mood, and self-awareness. Some of these changes are visible. Many are not. And here's something that rarely gets said clearly enough. Puberty does not begin at the same age for everyone. Some people start early. Some start around the average. And some start later, completely naturally. Puberty is guided by the body's internal readiness, not by the calendar. Part 2. What delayed puberty actually means. Delayed puberty does not mean no puberty. It means puberty hasn't started yet, or it's progressing more slowly than what's considered average. Doctors use averages to describe development, but averages are not rules. They are reference points. Delayed puberty simply means the body hasn't begun visible changes yet, or changes are happening very slowly. For many teens, this is just a different growth timeline, not a problem. In fact, many people who develop later go on to develop fully and normally, just on their own schedule. Delayed does not mean damaged. Delayed does not mean broken. Delayed does not mean permanent. It often just means later. Part 3. Why genetics matter more than you think. One of the biggest influences on puberty timing is genetics. That means how your parents developed, how your siblings developed, family growth patterns. Some families are early developers. Some are late bloomers. If people in your family grew later, your body may be following the same pattern. Your body remembers its blueprint, even if you don't know it yet. And genetics often explains delayed puberty far more than anything else. Part 4. Why comparison makes everything feel worse. The hardest part of delayed puberty is often not the physical side. It's the comparison. Teenagers are constantly surrounded by classmates who look older, friends whose bodies change quickly, social media images that exaggerate maturity. Comparison removes patience. When everyone around you seems to be ahead, it's easy to feel left behind, even if nothing is actually wrong. But development is not linear, and it's not competitive. Comparing timelines only creates pressure where none is needed. Part 5. The emotional impact no one prepares you for. Delayed puberty doesn't just affect appearance. It affects how you feel inside. Teens experiencing delayed puberty may feel less confident, more self-aware, anxious in social settings, unsure of where they fit. Some feel invisible. Some feel embarrassed. Some feel frustrated with their own body. And because puberty is rarely discussed openly, many teens internalize these feelings instead of asking questions. They assume the silence means something is wrong. But silence often just means no one taught them how to talk about it. Part 6. Delayed puberty in boys, deeper look. For boys, delayed puberty can feel especially isolating. They may notice their voice hasn't changed. They're smaller than peers. They haven't developed muscle or facial hair. In environments like sports or school, this can affect confidence deeply. Boys are often taught to hide uncertainty. They're rarely encouraged to talk about developmental worries. So confusion turns into withdrawal, overthinking, quiet insecurity. But delayed puberty in boys is extremely common, and in most cases, puberty begins naturally with time. Part 7. Delayed puberty in girls. Deeper look. For girls, delayed puberty can bring its own pressures. Girls may worry if breast development hasn't started. Their body looks different. Menstruation hasn't begun. Because periods are often treated as a major milestone, girls who develop later may feel abnormal, even when they're not. But late onset does not predict poor health. It does not mean something is wrong. And it does not mean development won't happen. Many girls who develop later go on to have completely healthy cycles in adulthood. Part 8. Why puberty can't be rushed. Puberty starts when the brain sends the signal that the body is ready. That signal can't be forced. It can't be rushed. And it can't be compared. Trying to hurry puberty only creates stress, and stress doesn't speed development. The body develops when conditions are right, and readiness looks different for everyone. Part 9. When it makes sense to ask questions. It is always okay to ask questions. Talking to a doctor or trusted adult can help if puberty hasn't started much later than expected. There is emotional distress. There are concerns about growth. Seeking information is not weakness. It's self-care. Most conversations about delayed puberty end with reassurance, not alarm. Part 10. What doesn't help but often happens? What doesn't help? Teasing, pressure, constant comparison, forcing confidence. None of these make the body develop faster. They only make the experience harder. Part 11. What actually helps while you wait? What helps is patience with yourself, healthy routines, sleep and nutrition, limiting comparison, understanding what's happening. Confidence grows from understanding, not speed. Part 12. The truth most teens never hear. Here's the truth most people don't say clearly enough. Some of the most confident, grounded adults were late bloomers. They weren't behind. They were just early in learning patience. Delayed puberty is not a flaw. It's a variation. And variation is part of being human. The message that matters most. If you feel behind right now, listen carefully. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are not running out of time. Your body is not late. It is preparing. And when it's ready, it will change fully naturally and in its own way. You don't need to rush becoming someone. You're already becoming.